Yo peeps, welcome to the Conspiracy Cupboard. Today I'm going to do an impromptu episode about freedom of speech, about government interaction into social media and to what we can and can't watch. So here we go. Cue the title sequence. Hey! Yeah. There we go. So I am in a lovely Superman onesie, mainly because it's a bit cold, but two, because this situation is so ridiculous, really, when you actually start looking at this now, that we need a superhero, don't we, to come and actually save us from all this. And it seems like they're making Russell Brand into that superhero. Because So the two episodes that I've done about him, then obviously were just to cover basically what was going off, because I felt like I kind of had to, because the situation I had a feeling was going to start getting really weird, and it just got weirder. So we had a letter sent by the sports media subcommittee to Rumble, because Rumble basically turned around and said, no, we're not deplatforming him, we're not taking money off him. He's been accused of something. As far as we're concerned, he's not locked up, he's not been anything done to him, so we're not going to take him down, which is quite correct. You cannot just turn around and accuse anybody of anything and then deplatform them, demonetize them, like certain platforms have, and I have to be very careful about what I say in that regard. But when you start then writing to other platforms and to other people about what they have said, if they have possibly defended Russell Brand or questioned this narrative, as I have, and I'll be waiting for my little letter to this very small, pathetic channel, which I would just like to say thank you very much to everyone that's recently subscribed to the channel. I hope you enjoy the videos. I've got some more stuff with Rendlesham Forest, obviously, the part 2, possibly a part 3 to that as well coming up. So look out for those, because this is what the channel's all about. Conspiracy, bit of fun, information, you know. And I did say when I started this channel, a lot of these things that I cover, right, I might not believe wholeheartedly, but I like to cover them, to delve into them, to have a look, right? I'm just a normal chap, okay? I've got a job, yeah, I run a business, you know, and we work, and that's what I do normally during the day, right? But then when you start picking up things like this and you talk to a lot of people like I do, and people have the same ideas as me, you then get these weird things coming from the government that apparently represent us, the people. And let me tell you, from speaking to thousands of people from all cultures, and like you would love to separate us all into individual colours and creeds and sexes and whatever, I just find that everyone's pretty much the bloody same, with the same kind of narrative. When you live in your daily life, you're just going to work, you're paying your bills, you're finding it hard to frigging buy stuff, you know, because it's so expensive, and your wages haven't gone up. You know, I love these people that think, I know this is going on a separate topic, but it all blends in, okay? So just bear with me. So you've got people that might be getting paid like 40 grand a year, okay? Some 50 grand a year. Most of the time, that's actually down south, okay? You get a few people up north and in the Midlands getting that kind of money, but mostly from big companies. Everyone else is getting about 18, 20 grand a year at the most, okay? And that ain't enough to do sod all with, okay? And if you live on benefits, okay, I'm not knocking you. I do have my own theories on stuff like that, but we'll get into that at another point. But your cap is about $390 as a single person, okay? I'm not sure if that's different for a woman. I need to have a look into that. But as a man, on your own, it's $390. And most places, now this is even just, I don't know, a bedroom to live in is like £400, £500 to live in a bedroom in a shared house, okay? If you want a flat, you might be lucky to get a flat for like $450 at the cheapest, but that means obviously you've got to go to work, and I do think that you should. go to work to go and get that extra bit. But if, say, you can't, how do you then afford to actually do this? I don't know, say you've been injured. No, let's just say you can't work for X reason. And you are looking at this going, well, where do I live then? And if you're told then as a white male that you can't get anything because you're just a bloke, so sorry, there's a housing crisis, well, for who? Things like these, as you start talking to lots of people, start building different conspiracies and different ideas and different things. And a conspiracy theory is only a theory, as I said before, until it's proven fact. The actual conspiracy theory thing came from the JFK assassinations, when people started talking about it several years after, and to basically quell any questions about how he was killed, they came up with this, it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, that's where it all came from. Now, living in England, this is the point that we're going to be going into, okay, is a freedom of speech. Now, I truly think that if you are British and you're watching this, right, I live in England too, we need to be very, very worried about what we can and cannot say. Now, as you probably, like me, you're being sat in a pub or you sat with your mates, you just openly talk about things. There's some things that you might not talk about, you know, especially if you're a bloke, you don't really talk about your feelings very much or something like that, you know, especially if you're an northern lad, you don't really go into things like that, but you might be talking about politics, about things. But some people now, if that was filmed, were all said or whatever, would go, oh, you can't say that against these people because of this, right? We live in a two-party political system. We might have Lib Dems and other people, but are they ever going to get in power? Really? It's just, you know. And now it's pretty obvious that these people with these new bills and this like social media bill that they've brought in, was that voted on? Did anyone ask us for this bill that gives them the right basically to look into our social media, to look into channels, to cancel channels, to write to people? So as I was sort of starting and going back into, they've sent another letter to Corp now, which, if you don't know, is a form of Twitter, which is now being taken over by Elon Musk. And it's the same letter, pretty much, that they sent to Rumble, asking if they're going to demonetize him, why he's still on the platform, basically in a subvertive kind of way. Not in a way that says, oh, we want you taken down now, but in a way that is, we want you taken down now. And then, at the end of this letter, which I've put up here for you to read, it basically goes into the fact that they want to know why Elon Musk was saying anything about him directly to Elon, basically. Why are you trying to defend somebody? We didn't give you permission. Is he a British citizen? Is he? No, he lives in America, does he not? They've got different freedom of speech laws, thankfully, over there. And so he can say whatever he wants as a CEO, as a free person who can think just like the rest of us. And what it seems to me is that the government doesn't believe that we, as a people, can actually think for ourselves. Now, the last time I checked is when we vote for a party, we vote for people to do as we ask, because they are promising a package of what it should actually be. Is we should all be able to write down what we'd actually like, right? What we actually want from this country, okay? And then hand all this in, okay? And get it in all the regions, right? And get it all sorted out. And the general consensus of what everybody in the country would actually like would go on a list. Because if you actually look at it and you talk to people, we pretty much all want the similar kinds of things. A lot of people want cannabis to be legalized, you know, to drug laws to be changed, so that we don't have massive overflows in our prisons of just people that have been caught with a bit of cannabis on them or a mushroom or something, that have been locked up for eternity. You know, actually have rehabilitation centres for criminals and people, which actually would, if you're legalising things like drugs and actually educating people properly, you lower the crime rate and you actually increase productivity because you open up more jobs into different fields like farming, agriculture, building works. You know, you're actually putting money back into things, but that's crazy talk. Please don't listen to that. So, you know, if we're doing things like this and we actually openly can talk about subjects, whatever they are, be it sex, religion, you know, I don't know, drugs, space, you know, anything, science, openly talk about everything and use actual facts and get a general list and a consensus from everybody in the country, you'd probably find that you'd have something you could actually tear out. And then what you do is you implement that. And you could vote on people in areas to represent your voice, because obviously you can't all go down to the town hall every day, but you could do that. And as long as everyone puts together what you as a country would like from an individual perspective over an actual general consensus, that would be a fair way of doing it, wouldn't it? Not we vote people in because they've said, oh, we're going to do this, and we have to go, well, we either like that they're going to do that or that they're going to do this. But it's not actually anything that we actually fucking want, really. So I suppose I'm going to have to go with you because you've got nice hair. And I hope that you might do the things that you said you were going to do. Isn't that crazy? Actually, when you look at it, as to how we run a society. And then the fact that these people can tell us then what we're allowed to say, what we're not allowed to say, through laws, through things like hate speech, which anything can be turned into hate speech if you want to turn it into hate speech. You know, if you don't like the word telegraph pole because someone's described you as one, are we now going to ban the word telegraph pole because someone described you as a telegraph pole? Because this is the way that we're heading. And then we can now start just accusing people, because apparently you are now guilty before proven guilty. Which doesn't seem to be a way out to be innocent anymore. You can just say what you want about anybody, and there we go. And if you then question what's said about somebody else, then you're in the firing line as well, because you shouldn't be questioning it. Why are you questioning these ideas? How dare you question what we tell you to do? Now we're going to investigate you. Now we can actually look into your social media. We can look into anything we want because we now have new powers that we didn't ask you about at all. But that's absolutely fine, isn't it? So please, everybody, keep questioning everything that's brought to us. Now, I just want to say it once again, right? I don't really care about this Russell Brand thing. What I care more about, actually, is the fact that it's everywhere. Right? Like I said before, if this has happened, right, why has it not come out before? Why is it now being done when he's doing this stuff on his channel and all this kind of thing? Right? You don't have to wait for him to be 6.5 million followers on one. And I noticed that in every single poll that people take, people believe Russell or believe that it's a conspiracy or something like this. If you don't believe me, it's just fact. I'm just relaying what I've processed myself. Go and check it out. Go and look at everybody's. If everyone's got a tally or a vote or a thing on YouTube, especially, do you think this is this or do you think this is it? Go and look at it. 87%, 85%, 90% people voting, saying yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Just go and look. It's fact. As I say, with this channel, everything I give to you, you can go and have a look at, okay? And you can make your own minds up. It's not for me to tell you. Right, I did an episode that the moon's hollow. Do I think the moon's hollow? No. But I think it's a bit weird, right? There's some weird things about the moon. I don't think it's hollow. But I might be wrong. But I did an episode on it. You know, that rings like a bell. You know, what's that all about? Could that have been a cavern or something that they actually hit underneath it? Because, you know, there's nothing to say that there isn't caverns and stuff in there. But I don't know. You know, Rendlesham Forest, the episodes that I'm doing on that, do I think that that's real? Well, I think it's really weird. I believe that these guys must be telling the truth, at least two of them anyway, you know, because again, why do some people make it up? But then again, there's some other accounts from it, as you'll find out, that are a bit like, meh, and it might make you question whether it actually happened or not. Right? But that should be the point. That should be the entire point. I should be able to tell you things with actual bits of information that you can go and research, and tell you the other bits of information that you can also go and research as well. That's how everyone should do it. Not, this is this, you must believe it now. No. Okay? You know, if I tell you white bread is bad for you, which it is, right? It just is. Okay, it's the way it's bleached now, and, you know, extra things added into it, and the longevity of it, because they had more stuff into it. Just go and research it yourself, okay? But if you want to carry on eating white bread, do it. I'm not bothered, right? That should be your freedom of choice, okay? Personally, I believe that all supermarkets should get rid of all the crap foods, and we shouldn't allow anything like MSG or, you know, rapeseed oils and things like this to be sold anyway, and we should just be able to go and buy natural, good ingredients. And all the food, I know this is a separate topic, right? But listen to this, if you didn't know this, all the food basically is wasted in like Asda, Aldi, places like this. So if they get a big delivery come in and say it's for one of the big ones, like, I don't know, Tesco's gets Aldi's stuff, yeah? They can't send it back to Aldi. They can't, right? Because there's some law, right? But they can't give it away to anyone either, and they can't sell it. So staff can take it, right, as like a write-off, yeah? But you can't just go and take it down to your homeless shelter. So you could have legs of lamb, you could have chicken, you could have tins of beef, you could have all sorts of stuff. But if it's accidentally labelled because you've got the wrong pallet, they can't send it back because of shipping permits and stuff. So it's then just wrote off, and you can't give it away. Why? Why can't we give that to people that need it? You know, why can't we actually make it so that this is cheap? Because that just shows you that, hang on a minute, the amount of money we're paying for things doesn't represent what things are actually worth, does it? So in every aspect of our lives at the minute, we are being controlled and mentored into some weird new future where we're not allowed to say anything, no matter who you are, which is one of the reasons why I do this little channel, because I'm just a dude, I'm just a bloke. I am no one to tell you out, all right? I'm a guy that calls himself Mischief, okay? And, you know, I have a job, a day job, and I go out and do that, and I've got a family and I look after them, you know what I mean? But I feel like, as a normal dude, I should be able to speak to you just like I was down the pub, and be able to relay information to you and say, look, what's going off? What is going off? Why are we now not allowed to talk about X, Y, and Z? Why is these things now taboo? Why is it that we allow a government to be able to tell us what we're allowed to say? Why is it that laws are made that we're not even privy to? We don't even get a vote on it. Last time I checked, this was a democracy. Yes, this was a democratic island. Yes, we have a king, but we are meant to be able to tell the government what we want, not them tell us what we want. Now, this is a controversial episode, then I apologise, because it's not really, is it? It's just very simply, why are we allowing people to just dictate a narrative to us, you know? And this Russell Brand thing is a perfect example of it, because never before have we seen the government write out to a media company asking why someone is still allowed to make money on a platform, or why their videos are still allowed to be shown, with no actual, it's not like he's murdered anyone, you know, on telly or something like that. Someone's basically done a documentary about this guy, and now he's not allowed to do anything. So what, if someone says anything about me now, or anybody, Bob down the street, Pat up the road, anything, we're just meant to believe it instantaneously, cancel them, stop them living, you know, hopefully they'll end up in the gutter somewhere and commit suicide. That's what we're hoping for. I'm not condoning any of those things that I've just said there, and if any of that gets snippeted together for any other reason, then you'll know to just come back and look at this and ask me what I actually said. But yeah, it's a fascinating old world we live in, innit? where trial by media now means that they can say what they want, we can't say what we want, because if you say anything against anything, then you are a conspiracy theorist, raving lunatic. So, anyway, I hope you all have a lovely day. And I just want to say, once again, thank you very much for subscribing. And I just want to let you know that we've got some more episodes of Trivial coming up. So if you want to go and check those out over on Spotify, and I'll be uploading them on Rumble as well. Because I don't think... Well, actually, I'll put a couple episodes up on YouTube and we'll see how they go, because I don't want the channel to be taken down for any reason. Not that we're going to be doing anything controversial on Rumble. On Trivial, sorry. Yeah, I just want to make sure that, you know, we can continue doing what we're doing, because it's an open platform. We should be allowed to say, within reason, you know, what you want to say. As long as you're not condoning, you know, murder or killing people or, you know, extreme views and ideas, right, on a maddening kind of level, you know, which I think we can all agree on there, then what is the problem? Questioning things isn't, as last time I checked, a crime. So, anyway, stay free, people, and enjoy the rest of your day. And, yeah. I've got a little song for you anyway, coming up, so you can enjoy that. But, yeah, until next time, I shall see you in a bit.